Hey guys, it is Razor Falcon here, and today I decided to do the one color challenge, which is basically well, it's been going around YouTube recently, so I decided I kind of wanted to do it. It sounded really fun. But basically, what you have to do is, I'm not, like I keep losing my train of thought, but so what you have to do is, anything you use when building has to be mostly the color of the challenge. So I decided to go with the color red because I thought it would be something fairly easy to do and that they might have many shades of red. And I was sorely mistaken in thinking that, since The Sims actually doesn't have all that many different shades of red, and they all tend to be about the same. So it kind of ended up looking a little bit dramatic towards the end. Uh, I ended up spending a lot more time than I expected to on building the outside of the house because I had a basic idea of what I wanted to do, but I wasn't entirely sure. This was definitely a lot more challenging than I thought it was going to be. Because when I first started this house, I kind of wanted a almost a country feel to it that was kind of modern, and then I realized that that wasn't going to work really well. I'm not even sure what I need to talk about here because basically right now we're just trying to figure out what we want to use on the outside and all of that. And this takes almost half the video, and even then I go back and edit a few things, or I guess including a few of those things. That's like half the video of me trying to do that. And as far as the windows go, there weren't a lot that were mostly red, or that could be very questionable whether or not they met the challenge rules. And by the way, if you want to try out this challenge yourself, I will put those rules down in the description. Yeah, no, this challenge was a lot harder than I thought it would be. I've probably said that about 3 times now. But no, I've just been out of it today. Like, it's just been one of those weird days where your head's kind of foggy. It's not like a headache, but I'm probably just going to blame it on sinuses because the weather has decided to go from about 50 degrees to a low of 5. I feel like if I did go outside, it'd probably help a bit. But like I said, there's a low of 5, and I really have no desire to do that. I've noticed that since I last started doing like more alcove type doors, I've really liked doing that type of stuff more. And the more I've used like the half rules, and not rules, I mean roofs, uh, the more I've wanted to use those. I don't know, just a few things I've noticed about my building style since I've started actually building myself more. Um, and if you notice that my mouse will sometimes go off and on, I finally got my mouse to work, which is awesome. Turns out my batteries were just really weak. Now that I have this pretty much worked out and all, I think it looks, I think it's been working fairly well. And I'm not completely used to using mouse, so like towards the end of this video I kind of give up on that, since I have trouble just staying in one position for a long time in the first place. And I found a lot of stuff with red, especially when it came to windows and doors. I couldn't quite find a single style that it fit, and a lot of stuff popping up with red had mostly black or white with it. So I think the doors um, over like half red. The windows, like I said, are a bit questionable, but considering the window options I had, those were a majority of them. And I'm not even sure if the other half that would be considered mostly red um, would work anyway. I also noticed that when I tagged red for what color items I wanted to use, it would every once in a while just stop. But I'm not sure if that was me going back and working on the building itself that caused that. I don't know, it's just something I noticed, and It wasn't too much of a hindrance. It was fairly easy to tell when I wasn't getting only red stuff on my screen. So yeah, I think we're getting really close to it aside for the final windows before we finally move on to the inside. Because we're about a quarter of the way done with this video already and we're still on the outside only. No. Trying to think of what I need to say. I don't think there's really anything interesting I've done recently. Well, I don't know. It's last week was a weird week at school. Um, it really reminded me of my eighth grade English class, where I had this English teacher who believed in learning on accident, which I think he achieved very well because I know I learned stuff in that class, but I don't recall ever learning it. And it was just an interesting thing that he did, and a lot of teachers don't. I've noticed a lot more of my teachers, especially the ones that are younger, um, kind of are against homework now. They try to give us as little as possible, which I think is great, and I am all for that. The less homework I get, the better. I noticed something with the counters that I did, where the table was halfway going through, and that wasn't intentional whatsoever. But I'd like just noticed it, and that might actually be a really cool idea for a build, so I might do that in some future builds. I know the next build I'm going to show on this channel is going to be me building my house because I've already completed that since in order to start this world that I just made. I guess I probably should have told you that I made a world for all of my builds and for the series and um so I made a world for my YouTube channel that I could do all of this sort of stuff without interrupting anything else I do. But in order to do that, I needed to place my sim in. I decided, well, we could give my sim a personalized house that I built. So I built my own house that I live in right now. So that will be coming out eventually. And sorry if my voice is a bit scratchy again. It likes to do that. But yeah, so back to my classes. And how I mentioned a lot of my teachers like not really going for homework and stuff, but it's just been a weird week where all of my teachers will give us tests around the same days. And so we wouldn't have a lot of homework, but we'd have a lot of tests that we needed to study for. And everybody's been in like this really weird mood where we aren't really trying in class. And the teachers are kind of just talking. I feel like we have more side conversations than we actually do learning. But I'm still learning stuff in those classes. The words are hard. But I'm still learning stuff, which is always just a weird feeling to learn without even trying. It's not a bad feeling, don't get me wrong. It just makes for some really weird weeks where you're not sure how you know what you do, but you just kind of are there. You're there for it. And I'm still not sure how good I even think those weeks are in the first place. I'm probably rambling, but that's okay. I need to fill like 20 minutes of this video, and we're only on 8, and I'm already running out of stuff to say. So yeah, for this house, I also decided to make more of a loft, which if you just make a loft is actually fairly easy to do in The Sims. But making a stairwell of The Sims does not like it if you try to do that. I like to do it though. I know a lot of houses I've lived in have had stairwells, and it's just such a weird thing to me that it's not all that easy in The Sims to try and make them, and I guess it's the game mechanics. But I don't know, it's just a bit more complicated than I feel it should be. And I feel like the outside, I basically kind of got it uniform in how I want it to be. But yeah, um, God, what am I thinking? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm thinking half of the time. Well, apparently my math teacher's birthday was earlier this week. I don't know, but the people who come into his class early in the morning because they have math uh, first period, which is always joyful, especially since it's an honors class, so it goes a bit faster than regular classes do. But yeah, it's his birthday this week, so he has these interesting people who come in first thing in the morning. Some of them are actually there to learn quite a few of them aren't. But so, uh, when I came into the room, they were throwing balloons behind his desk before he walked in, and apparently they had left like this giant package of bottled water in his room, and he's like, if anyone wants it, so people just ran over to grab water, which isn't the most entertaining thing that happened that day. Um, but so he was moving down the board because we have like these really cool rolling boards. So there's like 4 or 5 whiteboards in one area, so the teachers could just move them up and down at will. Uh, but so he rolled them down, and on the very back whiteboard, it just said like "Happy Birthday" and stuff like that. But the one thing we couldn't figure out is why they had put the flag of Lebanon there, and like he didn't even know what the flag was or anything. Just some of us looked it up, and we were all kind of confused that day. We weren't exactly sure what was going on. And I'm trying to figure out in this house, like what style I'm gonna go with, and I realized I forgot to put a bathroom at this point, and that might be an important thing to add. So I'm just gonna quickly add in the room for a bathroom, which kind of changes up my floor plan for the bedroom, which is gonna change plenty of times by the end of this video. I was kept struggling with whether or not I want to do a more organic or geometric design. I feel like that's kind of what, well, there's like those two shapes, and there's really not much else besides organic and geometric. But the style of those is different. Like, geometric tends to be very modern and all of that. But it's possible to have like really interesting organic shapes and stuff like that that are still very modern. And we didn't get a lot of that modern organic stuff, so I couldn't exactly uh, just put whatever I want there. I don't know. Yeah, that's the thing I decided to go with. Um, yeah, so I kept trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I did end up going more geometric, but it really kind of just brought down a bit more of my ideas. Like I said, this is a surprisingly hard challenge for what it is, but it's more if you get sick with the color you've chosen. Um, and the toilet I added in there, I'm not sure if it's mostly red, but all things considered, I'd say at least half red. So I feel like that's forgivable to an extent, especially since you always need like a toilet in your house, even though the challenge specifically states uh, that you can't have it if it's not like over half of what your color is. So since I decided it was probably up to the person who sees what the object is for like how red you think it is, uh, just let me know down below if you think that uh, well, that's a weird thing for you to let me know, but if you want to let me know if you think the toilet I placed down there meets the challenge rules, go ahead, go for it. I think the more interesting thing to put down below, though, would be what other challenges you want me to do, because I think the Sims 4 building challenges seem just really fun, and I definitely want to do more of them. I do want to bring back my 7 toddler challenge. I just have to get everything over, and I might just start it in this world even, and then do a build for that. So we might get 4 builds in a row before I actually record anything else. I'm not sure what I want to do on Minecraft because I also do want to still do Minecraft. I love recording Minecraft, and especially since I've gotten back into it. I uh, downloading Forge and stuff is kind of annoying if you don't already have a Java opener. So I might just go with rev- a regular vanilla Minecraft Let's Play for a while. Maybe more building, although you might get bored of building on my channel after a while. I'm just gonna try and bring in more series and stuff like that. I did see a Minecraft Let's Play though, where he was building in his Let's Play in like survival mode and all that, and that seemed really cool. I'll figure out who it was, and when I if I start that type of series, I will definitely link him down below. Not in this video, but whenever the first video of the series is. And I'm trying to get lights, and red lights just really don't help light up the room since red, especially in The Sims, is not a very bright color. Like it's a very bold color still. But I decided to do this thing with these smaller lights where I kind of just turned them into a wheel, and it kind of acted more of a spotlight since red doesn't have a lot of long range lights that really match what I was going for. I definitely think the living room got a bit uniform in its coloring, but most of that wasn't. I wanted to raise up the ceiling, but then I realized I'd have to extend the house, and I'm like, I don't really feel like doing that, and it could throw everything else I have off balance. So I just kind of kept it. I know the house is a bit more of a brick shape. Do you get it? The house is made of brick, but most houses here are. It's just an easier thing to build with faster, especially since we're in a growing area. And I know a lot of houses start off with bricks. Um, Here in Indiana, actually uploaded A to Z Indiana redraw on my other channel, so I suggest you go and check that out. Um, since I am very excited for that series. I know the quality of that specific video isn't as good as I wanted to because I forgot to drag the video to fit the screen, and that was like such a dumb move of me. I should have realized it when I was editing, but I didn't. And I've just decided, you know what? It's fine. It's good. I still need to make an actual thumbnail for that. I've been getting really behind with thumbnails, and I used to never do that. Thumbnails I used to just be able to do well I was editing things, and for some reason I just haven't been doing that, even though editing has not editing, but uploading has been taking so much longer. But yeah, so please do go check that out. But here in Indiana, a lot of houses, and at least in the areas near here, everything is just exploding. It's hard to get out into the country anymore and just kind of find good places to drive and all of that. It's just a lot. um, yeah, it's just supposed to help you pop up all of your houses and stuff like that. And it's nice. It's cool. Yeah, so it just kind of sacrifices a lot of like really cool architecture and stuff that you get, especially with a lot of older buildings that people just kind of made for the aesthetic pleasure on the outside and inside and stuff like that. But it was still functional, which I think is what a lot of us sacrifice in this Sims for really cool designs of houses. It actually being functional. Here I'm just kind of redesigning that because I felt like the house was getting a little too dark, and if I could even slightly make that better, then I was all for it. I don't think it turned out bad. I honestly could have used pink in this house since pink is a uh, tint of red and technically not its own color, despite what everybody will try to make you think. Like I said though, this just I'm not happy with how this house turned out, but I did my best with what I was given, and I really feel like uh it could have been worse. The plants I think definitely helped a little bit, and I think I would have cried if I didn't have any red plants that I could have used. I wish I could have used more, but I didn't want to go like too repetitive or add too many surfaces or anything. Oh, and I love these like bars, pillars. I don't know. I don't even remember what they're called. I probably could go back and check, but I just love those, and I feel like they just add a bit more personality to the house. And of course, we have the small desk upstairs. I just kind of wanted this to be a simple house. I'm sure it's not a starter home, but I will most definitely put this up on the gallery for you guys to use. And I made the decision to make whatever sim this is obsessed with music or something like that. I think if I ever were to move a sim in here, I would make them um, the inverted color to red so I didn't have to deal with any more red, like no red at all in their outfits or anything. Um, but yeah, I I just decided they'd be interested in music, so I try to keep the design and decorations in the house more music related. And I think the little bit of green I was able to do with the landscaping, although I still had to keep that fairly red, I kind of bent the rules since it's really hard to get plants that are mostly red. So I felt like that was enough, and I don't know, I'm happy with that. I was trying to figure out what to do if I wanted like a chimney or something, and I'm not actually sure if I keep this, even though I finished this build like not long ago at all. That was just something I was like, maybe this would look cool, and I'm not sure if I actually kept it, and I thought that it did. I tried to do that little border thing, but I hate how with the stairs it doesn't continue, and it always bothers me, so I only do that anymore on houses where the stairs will actually be there. And we're about to end, and no, I don't. Okay, guys, we are now at the screenshots, so I'm going to end the video here. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and leave down below what challenges you'd like me to do. And just remember to be awesome, be cool, be a person, and I will see you all later. Bye!